makes one team just click while another one completely implodes?
Well, today we're diving into a really powerful answer from Simon Sinek's book, Leaders Eat Last, and it tackles that exact question, right? Why is it that some teams feel like a tight-knit family? They do anything for each other, while other teams are, well, just a bunch of people who happen to work in the same building.
The whole book, really, boils down to this one incredible idea. Real leadership isn't about being the boss. It's about looking after the people on your team. And to kick things off, Sinek tells this absolutely jaw-dropping true story that just perfectly captures this idea.
Okay, so picture this. We're in Afghanistan, it's just a year after 9/11, and this is a mission that is still classified even now.
So you've got this team of 22 special ops guys on the ground. They're in this deep, dark valley, moving through some awful, rocky terrain. It is pitch black. They can't see their hands in front of their faces, and they're just inching along because the conditions are just so dangerous.
So as you can imagine, every single one of them is completely on edge. Now, thousands of feet up in the air, there's a pilot circling in an A-10 Warthog. His name is Captain Mike Drowley, but his call sign is Johnny Bravo. The thing is, he can't actually see the team. There's a super thick cloud cover. But he can hear it in their voices over the radio. He can feel their anxiety.
And so, just going on his gut instinct, he decides to do something that is, frankly, insane. It's called a weather letdown. He's basically going to fly his jet blind, straight down through these thick, stormy clouds, just to try and get a look at what's happening. This is the kind of move that could very, very easily get him killed.
And no joke, just as he starts to go down, his gut feeling is proven right. 3 words come crackling over the radio. The 3 words no pilot ever wants to hear: troops in contact. And that means one thing: the guys on the ground are in a firefight. They're under attack.
So he punches through the clouds and flies straight into absolute chaos. The whole valley is just lit up with tracer fire. It's a storm of bullets and rockets, and it's all aimed at those 22 men he's there to protect. And get this, he's basically flying blind with nothing but old Soviet maps. No fancy GPS, no modern tech to stop him from crashing right into the side of the mountain.
This quote just says everything, doesn't it? For a guy like Johnny Bravo, turning around and leaving just wasn't on the table. He starts making these attack runs, flying low, and he's literally counting out loud 1,000, 2,000, just so he knows when to pull up before he smashes into the valley wall. Then he runs out of ammo. So what does he do? He gets his wingman on the radio and guides him in to do the exact same thing, flying right alongside him through it all.
So, what was the result of all that? Of that unbelievable courage? 0. That's the number of American casualties that night. 0. All 22 of those men got to go home, and it's all because their leader, their pilot in the sky, chose to fly straight into the fire for them. It just makes you wonder, right? What makes a person do something like that? Why would anyone willingly take that kind of risk, especially for people they don't even know personally? Well, the answer, believe it or not, can be found in a really old tradition in the US Marine Corps. In fact, it's where the book gets its title. Yeah, just think about that for a second. It's not some official rule written down somewhere. It's just the culture. It's expected. The most junior people on the team, they eat first. And the most senior leaders, they always eat last. It's this small, everyday thing that sends a huge message. The leader is willing to put the team's needs, even their own comfort, before their own.
Okay, so it's easy to think, well, sure, that makes sense on a battlefield. But what Sinek argues is that this exact same idea, this eat last mentality, is what makes the difference between a good company and a truly great one.
Let's take a look at this factory in South Carolina. Before a new CEO came in, the whole place ran on distrust. Can you imagine this? Loud bells would ring to tell people exactly when to start work, when they could take a break, when they could eat lunch. It was all about control, not about teamwork.
But then this new CEO, Bob Chapman, takes over. And he doesn't come in with a bunch of new rules and regulations, he just listens. And he hears that the workers feel like they aren't trusted, that they're being treated like kids. So you know what he did? He just got rid of the bells. That's it. He replaced that whole system of control with a system of trust and empathy. And what happened? The whole culture changed. And no surprise, productivity and morale went through the roof.
And this story really gets us to the absolute core concept of the entire book. Sinek says that great leaders, it doesn't matter if they're in a jet or in a corner office, they do one thing better than anyone else. They built something he calls the circle of safety.
This is the big one, right here.
Think about it. If you're constantly worried about office politics, or if you're watching your back because you're afraid of getting laid off, how much energy do you really have left to, do your actual job, to innovate, to fight the real competition? Almost none. So a leader's number one job is to build that circle of safety around everyone on their team. Protect them from the dangers inside the company so that everyone can focus their energy on facing the dangers outside the company.
So here's the bottom line. This whole circle of safety thing, it isn't just a nice little perk. It's not a bonus. It's the fundamental job of a leader. It's everything. It's about making the conscious choice to put the well-being of your people ahead of your own. And that really just leaves us with one question, and it's for anyone who's in a leadership position. Whether you're a CEO, a team lead, or even a parent, are you willing to eat last?
Please do subscribe.